Stavani, Council stand in recess.
Thank you very much, Speaker Bosma, and good friend Brian, if I may. Members of the House, the guests, Professor Messer. It's a great honor for me to be here today as the official representative of the State of Israel to the Midwest of the United States. I'd like to start by thanking you for the opportunity given to me to address you today on behalf of the State of Israel. The State of Israel that I hope many of you had the opportunity to visit, and the rest hopefully will visit soon. This state is a strong ally of the United States and a strong ally of the state of Indiana. Let me start by saying a few words about the relationship between Israel and the United States, followed by a few words about the relationship between Israel and the state of Indiana. The relationship between Israel and the USA are nearly 68 years old. It took President Harry Truman 11 minutes since Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion announced to recognize this independence. Since 1948, the year in which the Jewish state was established, the relationship only improved. They became deeper and wider. Indeed, not without hurdles every now and then. One such hurdle we faced last year against what was known as the Iran deal, the JCPOA. Much was said about this disagreement between the two strategic allies, and this is neither the place nor the time to add to this debate. However, this debate is over. After everything was said and done, I believe that both states are mature enough to move on. Against the growing threat of global terror, against the growing lack of stability in the Middle East, against the growing threat to Western democracies from non-state actors, the strategic partnership between our two strategic allies is only growing stronger. Facing all the common challenges that I've just mentioned, and some others, we do not have the prerogative to ignore our alliance, to forget that at the end of the day, we stand together at the same trench against our common enemy. Traditionally, the partnership between the US and Israel was leaning on two foundations: common strategic interest, as I've just described, but also on shared moral values. As for those shared moral values, it is almost needless to state the obvious. If you talk about minority rights, women's rights, freedom of the media, respect of political opposition, you are talking about the US, Israel, and a small of other states in the world. Neither of them is in the Middle East, except Israel. In the last years, another foundation, another pillar was added to the alliance on top of the common strategic interest and the shared moral values. And I'm talking about economic interest. More and more American giant corporates have opened R&D centers in Israel, taking advantage of the very special Israeli DNA that is embracing research and development. Apple, Google, Motorola, General Motors, to name only a few of those economic giants that are present now in Israel. Israeli corporates are present now in the American market, where tens of thousands of American people are working currently. Teva, Amdocs, and Checkpoint, to name only a few of those Israeli companies. Talking about the economic relationship between Israel and the US brings me to speak about the relationship between Israel and Indiana. The relationship between Israel and Indiana are always good, but I think it was the visit of your governor, Governor Pence, exactly a year ago, December 14 to January 15, which was really a breakthrough in the relationship. On top of meeting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and having an excellent conversation with him, he met representatives of the Israeli business community. One meeting that he had with the head of our defense industry export promotion unit at the Ministry of Defense delivered a high-rank Israeli business delegation in the field of defense industry that visited Indianapolis 6 months ago for a whole day of business-to-business meeting with the current representatives of the Indiana defense industry. And this was an excellent opportunity for both sides to meet together. Only 2 weeks ago, the Secretary of Commerce of the state of Indiana, Mr. Victor Smith, led a delegation to Israel to attend our annual Cyber Tech Summit, which is representing the Israeli cyber security industry, which is becoming more and more influential. This was an excellent visit, and within this visit, an Israeli company by the name Omen Casting Group have announced plans to open its first U.S. production facility in Richmond, Indiana. I don't know who represents Richmond here, but it's for you to know that the Israeli company have announced that they will provide this site will provide more than 100 new jobs, and the investment will be $16 million American dollars. For an Israeli company, this is a lot of money. So the representative of Richmond is here. Okay. This is only a drop in the sea. The two states are also discussing a possible memorandum of understanding that will be signed by the state of Israel and the state of Indiana that will try to cement those developing economic relations. I would be remiss if I would not mention at the end of my talk House Bill 1378. This House joined other houses in the United States in supporting a bill that we call an anti-BDS bill. Unfortunately, there are more and more companies, not so much in America, but in Europe, that are trying to divest from the state of Israel, that are trying to sanction the state of Israel as an outcome of, unfortunately, anti-Semite feelings. Again, not so much in America, but more in Europe. And there are more and more houses, and I really would like to thank this House, Brian, for joining this effort and sending a very clear message that he who supports divestment from the state of Israel is not welcome in the state of Indiana. That has to be a very clear, and this is a clear message. I do hope that the Senate will follow this House, and I know for sure that the governor will be very happy to sign this bill. And I know that the houses, just like the American society, are polarized, but we want to make sure that the support for Israel will be indeed part of both sides of the aisle. Indeed, this bill is a reflection of the excellent relationship between the United States and Israel, and the fantastic relationship between the state of Indiana and the state of Israel. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you both for supporting this bill and for giving me this podium today, and I wish you a very good day, and thank you very much. Toda rabah.
Bills have been as well in support of the state of Israel and pass this House unanimously. So now you need to go lean on the Senate and we will see. But it is truly an honor for you to take your personal time to be here to address us today. So much thank you for being here. And all the JCRC and your staff here. House will return to order. Normally, a congressman is, we drop everything to take a moment to hear from our congressional delegation. But in the order protocol, Council General first, but it's my very great pleasure to introduce our colleague, our former colleague here in the House, and our 6th District Congressman, Congressman Luke Messer. Hey, Luke, guess where the button was? It's up here.
tell you all kind of a fun story from our family. Most of this room would know that the Messer family is serving together. The most recent presidential State of the Union address was my favorite, my short tenure, really for two reasons. One, candidly, I knew it would definitely be President Obama's last. But also, because I was able to take my daughter as my date. And we got to the end of the evening, and Ron Berger, who our family is the ambassador of Israel, we've had an opportunity to have a Sabbath luncheon at their home together. We ran into Ron Berger in the Capitol catacombs after the speech. And Ron saw my daughter and said, "Hey, you've been to my house." And he took off his U.S. America, or his Israel American pin, and pinned my daughter as a certified friend of Israel. And of course, that's a story that she will never forget. You know, I applaud you all for your legislation. I just would want the Council General to know that there are few words that bring Hoosiers together, quite like the simple words, "We must always stand with Israel." And may it always be so. Now I come here and I come in this chamber and I walk in these buildings and it's like an old home week for me, and I can't help but get nostalgic. Many of you may remember when I retired from this chamber. It's been almost a decade ago now. My 2-year-old and 1-year-old kids were sticking their heads through the holes up there on the railing. I've had the experience that maybe some of you have had of pulling up to the State House and having my kids say, "Hey, that's Daddy's office," right? And it's just such a part of our family. And I have to tell you that every year that I'm going, I become more and more nostalgic for this place. And what an amazing privilege it is, and it was, to get the opportunity in this building to serve the people of Indiana. Of course, I get to do it in a different capacity, but to be in a place that actually follows rules, to be in a place that actually takes on big ideas, has spirited debate, reaches a conclusion, and moves forward. I don't have much advice for you, except just this. Cherish the time that you have here. Never forget what an amazing privilege it is to get to serve people in Indiana. Everybody in this room, over 60,000 of your friends and neighbors, selected you to come here and help tackle our state's challenges. And of course we have tough days, and of course we have long days. But in all those days, remember to smile, because it's a great privilege to serve this great state. And then so with that, there's a whole lot going on in Washington. You may have noticed there's the presidential election that people pay a little bit of attention to. We just had the tragic passing from my perspective of Justice Scalia and all the debate that will be surrounding that. And I just, rather than get into some of the substance of all that, I just kind of leave this chamber with one thought. I did not get to know Justice Scalia well. I never really spoke to him at length once. But I can tell you my lasting impression of this conservative firebrand, this sort of champion of the right, was that this firebrand was such a gentle man. He was a gentleman, a person of clear faith who treated everybody he met with dignity and respect. And as we celebrate Justice Scalia's great achievements, I hope we'll also remember maybe my favorite quote from the guy that left a lot of great quotes, and it's something like this: "I don't attack people, I attack ideas." And some really good people can have some really bad ideas. And if you don't understand that, you need to get a different day job. And so as we work through the rough and tumble of figuring out who our leaders are going to be as a country and as a state, we'll stay focused on principle as we should. But let's also remember just Scalia's lessons and stability. Our state and our nation can use a good dose of it. Thank you all very much. Appreciate this privilege to be here.
In order to give our guests a dignified exit, we're going to stand in recess and follow gap for just a few minutes, and then we have a couple resolutions.
But I do have here Perry Hammock, who is the Executive Director for the Bicentennial Commission. And Mr. Speaker, if possible, to have him make a few comments about the replica of the torch that we have here this morning. Once more, Purdue gets honors. Yeah. I mean, they are phenomenal over there. They designed the torch, and maybe Perry will get into the discussion of, we have 2 or 3 or 4 different designs depending upon the weather and who is carrying the torch from county to county. So, Mr. Speaker, if at all possible, to have Mr. Hammock make a few comments.
House will stand in recess. Welcome.
Thank you all. Thank you for your support of the bicentennial. We're in the bicentennial year. The kickoff on December 11th was wonderful. In your mailboxes today or tomorrow will be a listing of all the legacy projects in your districts. Our commission meets every 6 weeks, and Representative Brown and Senator Merritt have been important parts of that since 2011. Friday, we will announce that we have over 1,000 legacy projects across the state. Every county, hundreds of towns and cities, organizations and groups are all participating in making this celebration something that's meaningful, that's accessible, and that will leave legacies. The Bicentennial Torch Relay will kick off in September 9th at the Corydon State House. We'll travel 2,300 miles through Indiana over 5.5 weeks and finish here with a very special Hoosier Homecoming on October 15th. Purdue University is designing the torches. This is a model of what the standard torch will be like. It will have, when it's finished, the flame will come from the top. It will have GPS. This is Purdue. It will have GPS. It will have Wi-Fi. There will be cameras front and rear. There will be an app that you can follow the torch on its travels, so as you're around Indiana, you can stop and see it. It will run on Indiana biofuel, a combination of E85 and biodiesel. It is all Indiana. Thank you. But we have 3 torches. This torch in its final form will weigh about 4 pounds. It's a little bit more than that in its state. But there'll be a second torch, a smaller torch that will be LED lighted, so that our children, so that our elderly, so our Hoosier heroes can carry the torch if they're not quite able to carry the torch at its full strength. And then there'll be a third torch we call the Racer. We tested the flame at 200 miles an hour. It will be affixable. Yes, it will be on things like Indy cars and antique tractors and Humvees and hovercraft and Terre Haute. So every county can carry the torch in unique ways to their area, as well as having important Hoosiers carry the torch. It will be great, great fun. And I'd like to really thank the Indiana Office of Tourism Development that has taken on this project. You can only imagine how hard it is to get a path of 2,300 miles and keep everyone happy. So they've done a yeoman's job, and I'd like to thank them for that. But stay tuned. On our website, indiana2016.org, you can find everything that's going on with the bicentennial, and we look forward to having you all participate, and thank you for your support. And thank you, Representative Brown. Thank you. And let me introduce my staff. Valerie Beamer, Renee Stanley, and a brand new intern. Sarah Carell has been an intern for about a half an hour now. So.
And already we're honoring you in the General Assembly.
I'm not sure how to follow this, but thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. House will return to order. Before you leave, ladies, since this is really in lieu of a discussion on a resolution, I will ask if others would like to speak. And we'll allow you to close, Representative Brown. Representative Brown, you can close. I see no volunteers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We are really looking forward to the celebration of our 200th anniversary, and hopefully all of you, as it comes through your counties or your local communities, will participate. The reason for the delay over in the Senate, well, you saw part of that here, that all of them wanted to take a picture with the torch, so that's what delayed them getting over here before we were in recess. And thank all of you for your attention.
And it's tough to get those walkers up the podium. Thank you, Representative. They watch this. I'm just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Thank you so much. Well, let's recognize them one more time for being here today. Thank you very much. Chair hands down Senate Concurrent Resolution number 40.
A
A concurrent resolution honoring the participants of I Vote Today at Indiana State House 2016. Whereas February 18, 2016 marks the Indiana Youth Services Association's annual Youth Day at the State House, dedicated to educating the state of Indiana's youth about their state government and the legislative process, known in its 18th year as I Vote Today at Indiana State House 2016. Whereas the observance of the Youth Day provides Hoosier high school students an opportunity to meet their state legislators.
You've heard the resolution. Is there a second? Chair recognizes Representative Baining for discussion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I'm very pleased today to recognize this initiative and this resolution recognizing our Indiana youth. You talked about the bicentennial celebration. They're kind of kicking off the bicentennial celebration, getting our youth engaged in civic activity and voting in the state. I'm pleased to be joined on the resolution. This is a Senate concurrent resolution by Representative Wesco, Representative Richardson, Representative Pierce, and Representative Bartlett. With me today, we have approximately 70-plus pages that are our pages for the House, and there's another 70-plus pages for the Senate. They're all over the chamber, some in the balcony. Up here with me, I have Joseph Hartung, Damon Garrett, Brittany Ashley, Isaiah Winfield, and David Weissenberger, which is from Indiana Youth, Eddie Rivers, and Tracy Wells. They've all come down today to page for many of us to find out how they can interact in government, and most importantly, they want to get engaged and be voters and participate in our system, which I think we all welcome and want to have more of our youth get involved. Representative Porter and I, several years ago, participated in a federal initiative where we were trying to get more kids involved, and We the People, groups like that are all kind of focusing on getting our youth involved in the participation of their democracy, and it's an honor to have them here today. And I would like to give Tracy Wells an opportunity to maybe share a few thoughts about why they're here, and if, Mr. Speaker, if she can just have a couple minutes to give a couple
Be
thoughts.
happy to do that. We'll stand in recess. Ms. Wells.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Representative Baining. Thank you, Representative Wesco and Representative Bartlett, and everyone who's allowed us to come here today. A little bit shorter. This is really important to us, and it is an honor to be here. David Westenberger and Eddie Rivers with Kids Voice and IYSA, we all feel it's very important to engage kids, right? We want to support youth, but we need to look beyond. So today is a kickoff of the 18th annual Youth Day at the State House, yes, but it's the kickoff of I Vote Today. So starting today, we're going to engage these kids who are here year-round. We want to build connections between all of you and kids in your district, youth in your district, and then we're going to help encourage and nurture and engage them year-round through their schools. So it's not a Young Republicans Club, it's not a Young Democrats Club. We're going to have Young State Government Engaged Kids Club, and that's what we're going to do year-round. We really want to get into the schools and build relationships and invite you then to the schools to talk to them about issues that are important to them. Thank you for letting us be here, and we hope that you can come and join us at 11:30 for lunch, but then 12:30 for dessert up on the 3rd and 4th floor, and spend some time one-on-one with the kids from your district. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy, for your tireless work on this, this program. Further discussion on the resolution? Representative Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members of the Assembly. I'm going to do my own public service announcement here. As you work with our youth, our young folks, our young people, please encourage them to be poll workers. That is the one way that they can help our election process as much as anything, because what's happening to us, all those people who have done it for years are getting older and can't do it as much. So we need the youth to be involved with working at polls, which most of the counties have now gone to some type of technology, election equipment. It would be much easier for them than it is sometimes training us old folks to be able to use the equipment. So if I leave you with anything, we would like you to help us statewide on poll workers.
Thank you, Representative Richardson. Further discussion? Would you like to close, Representative Baining?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Picking up on what Representative Richardson says, I think in state law now, if I'm not mistaken, Representative Richardson, at age 16 they can be poll workers. So it would be something that it would be an excellent opportunity for you to see how the voting process works. You can do it. Many counties allow for you to work half a day and split the time. So it's something, a way to get engaged one-on-one. But we definitely are very excited to have you here, all the pages. I would encourage all of our members to try to spend some time with their pages to just share your thoughts. I also want to give a special thanks to Tracy. I mean, without her efforts and without her energy, you can tell how excited she is. This would not be as successful as it has been. And would urge your adoption of the amendment and your support of the young people we have here today. Thank you.
Questions on the adoption of the resolution? All in favor indicate by voting aye. There's no. Resolution is adopted unanimously. Thank you so much to all of you for being here today. You had special treats today, hearing from the Consul General and a Congressman. So, welcome. Thank you. Chair hands down House Concurrent Resolution 43, Representative Porter.
A concurrent resolution memorializing Mark St. John, whereas Mark St. John, who passed away at the age of 62, dedicated more than 30.
Oh, okay. This where people can get back. Okay. If you can move back. Very